Welcome back, everyone, to Healthy Living with Ufa Heads and Little Center Show. Thank you so much for joining us today. Let me tell you something. Today, we've got a lot to learn. Yes, we've got a lot to cover today because there are many things we need to know about our skins. Yes, yes, yes. And I believe that it's the right time we talk about it. Yes, this is the right time for it. Because if we don't talk about it now, when are we going to talk about it? When are we going to talk about it? Because a lot of things have gone wrong out there. Many people are messing up some other people's skin. Many people are messing up their own skin, and it's just going crazy all over the world. Not only one particular place, it's all over the world. Right there in the US, in Africa, it's everywhere. Things are going on, going wrong every day, and people are not paying attention. We have no idea what the repercussion could be after doing this. So I think it's the right time we talk about it. You see, there are many myths out there about skin cancer, from who to get it to the importance of disease and more. Myths like some people say that skin cancer only affects those with lighter skin. Some say I don't need to worry about skin cancer. Why? Because I live in an area of the Pacific Northwest that is often cloudy and cool. Plus, I'm not a sunbather. Some even say that getting a base tan in a tanning bed will protect them from sunburns and skin cancer. This last myth is even weird. It's weird in the sense that some people would think they can be in the sun without sunscreen to get enough vitamin D. Says who? Who said all this? Where did you get all this information from? Where exactly did you get them from? You see, with all these myths, I feel I am obligated to respond. And as a health and wellness specialist, I am responsible for this type of advocacy. It is my responsibility to tell you what you should know about your skin and cancer. Because this is what I do every day. This is what I report on every day. So today, we're going to be discussing about skin cancer. And I want us to learn so much on this particular topic, this particular disease. Yes, I really want us to pay more attention than before. Yes, because we've been talking about skincare for about 2 shows ago now. And the question received forced me to talk about skin cancer. So let's talk about skin cancer today so that we can learn, we can know more about our skin. But before I talk about the truth you should know, either about your skin or the skin cancer itself, I think it makes real sense to have an understanding what skin cancer is, so that you can better absorb or digest it. I mean, the information shared on this show today. So what is skin cancer? Let's talk about it after the break. Let's take a break. I'll be right back.
The risk factors have caused unpreventable and preventable diseases like disability and death. To reduce these risk factors, prevent diseases or injury before it ever occurs, reduce the impact of a disease or injury that has already occurred, soften the impact of an ongoing illness or injury that has lasting effects. We all need to invest our time and money in improving healthy lifestyle behaviors by increasing physical activity and improving our diet. By doing this, almost 35% of early deaths will be avoided. Join us every Sunday, 2 p.m. U.S. time, 7 p.m. UK and Nigerian time, 8 p.m. South African time. See you there.
Welcome back. You are watching the Bofra Health and Nutrition Talk Show on Healthy Living with Bofra TV. Before I go into details, I want you to understand something, which I've been talking about most of the times on this show. And by now, I believe you should know that the skin that you carry is your body's largest organ. Yes. And the same skin has several layers, but the two main layers are what are very important. And these are epidermis, that is the upper or outer layer. And the second main layer is called the dermis, which is the lower or inner layer. So the skin cancer begins in the epidermis, also known as the upper or outer layer, which is made up of three kinds of cells. The skin cancer begins in the epidermis because the outermost skin layer causes unrepaired DNA damage that triggers mutations. So, skin cancer is the out of control growth of abnormal cells in the epidermis. This is what skin cancer is. Now, let's talk about the third cells that grow cancer in the skin. And I will tell you the common ones. The first one is squamous cell. Squamous cell is the thin, flat cell that form the top layer of the epidermis. And the second one is basal cell. This is the round cells under the squamous cell, while the melanocyte is the third cell. Melanocyte is the cells that make melanin, and they are found in the lower part of the epidermis. And the same melanin is the pigment that gives skin its color. So if you are dark, light, white, yellow, whatever color you have, melanocytes make it possible. So when skin is exposed to the sun, melanocytes make more pigments and cause the skin to darken. That is why you see white people going in the sun during summer, go to the beach to get their skin tanned. And melanocytes make it possible to make their skin possible to change from white to tan color. The two most common types of skin cancer are basal and squamous cell carcinomas, respectively. They begin in the basal and squamous layers of the skin. Note this, both can usually be cured, but can be disfiguring and expensive to treat. Of all types of skin cancer, melanoma is the one that causes the most deaths because of its tendency to spread to other parts of the body, including vital organs. I mean, when it metastasized. Remember, I mentioned last week that UV rays from sunlight can cause cancer. I mentioned it when I was talking about skincare. Yes, it can. Most cases of skin cancer are caused by overexposure to ultraviolet rays, UV rays, from the sun, sunny beds, or sun lamps. UV rays can damage skin cells. In the short term, this damage can cause a sunburn. Over time, UV damage adds up, leading to changes in skin texture, premature skin aging, and sometimes skin cancer. Not only that, UV rays also have been linked to eye conditions such as cataracts. Can you now see how much you need to protect your skin from sunlight? There are risk factors for skin cancer. What are these risk factors? Let's talk about it. Let's take a look at it. Note this. Anyone, I repeat, anyone can get skin cancer. Yes, regardless of your age, your sex, your culture, your background, your profession, your height, your thing. Anybody can get skin cancer. Of course, we all carry cancer cell in the body. Everyone should know this by now. Everyone should know this truth by now. Believe it today that right there in that beautiful body of yours, there are cancer cells. But how this cell grow depends on certain risk factor. It is said to believe that there are people with certain characteristics to be at risk, at a greater risk. Who are these people? Let's talk about it. People with skin that burns, that freckles, that reddens easily or becomes painful in the sun are at risk. Number 2, anyone with blue or green eyes said to be at risk as well. And number 3, if you have certain types and a large number of moles, you are at risk. Next one says anyone with a family history of skin cancer or people with blonde or red hair are at risk. Another people with certain characteristics are people with personal histories of skin cancer. And lastly, old age can also be a risk factor. Now, there are people with other characteristics considered to be at risk. To me, they are mites. And I can tell you why they are mites. People with characteristics of being light, being people with a lighter natural skin and light colored hair. This is not true because this disease affects people of all colors, skin tones, races, and ethnicities. Yes, it is true that having light colored hair and fair skin that sunburns easily are risk factors for developing skin cancer. But this disease affects people of all colors, skin tones, races, and ethnicities. So it's not only people with light skin color or light colored hair. In fact, studies have shown that skin cancer in people with darker skin are often not diagnosed until they are more advanced, when they are harder to treat. So this sounds like leukemia or pancreatic cancer. These two cancers give no signs until they are more advanced. In fact, pancreatic cancer signs shows up 3 to 4 months before death. So everyone, regardless of the color of your skin, should practice skin cancer prevention strategies, such as avoiding direct sunlight, applying sunscreen consistently, and wearing sun protective clothing. Stop exposing your skin to bacteria, to too much of sun, especially, all in the name of fashion or seduction. You will hurt yourself. Believe it or not, you will definitely hurt yourself. Here is another thing. Aside UV rays, some chemicals from the skincare products we apply on our skins can also cause cancers. Yes. According to the American Cancer Society, it is believed that the substances which have been proven to cause cancer in animals may have the potential to cause cancers in humans and should be treated with caution. Let me tell you a few ingredients to keep a cautious eyes out for that have been linked to cancer. If you need to write down, write down. I'm going to be telling you the names of the ingredients you need to look out for. You need to look out for in the ingredients of any product you apply on your skin. I mean, any skin care products you apply on your skin. You want to read a label. You want to look at this name I'm going to tell you to see if it is in the ingredient used to make the product, the skincare you are using. If you see it, avoid it. Don't use it. There are lots of healthy products out there that you can use and it still give you the benefits of the reason why you are using it. I mean, which will not cause you any harm, which will not hurt your skin. Number one is parabens. Parabens are yet another preservative that is commonly added to skin care products, although in a small amount. The artificial parabens that are added to cosmetics and skin cares are linked to certain type of skin cancer. Additionally, parabens are a non-endocrine disruptor, meaning they mimic estrogen, which leads to breast cancer. When parabens are combined with other estrogenic chemicals, they may also potentially influence the development of malignant melanoma cancer. Yes. And you can find these preservative, paraben, in your water-based products, such as moisturizer, cleanser, and scrubs, as well as shampoos and conditioner. The next one is called formaldehyde-releasing preservatives. These ingredients are also used as preservatives in skincare products and also used in plastics, cleanser, resins, and other things. You definitely don't want to incorporate into your nightly skincare routine because it slowly releases a non-human carcinogen. Carcinogen is poison pollutant. Yes, it slowly releases a non-human carcinogen into human skin, which have been linked to leukemia cancer. You know what leukemia cancer is? Blood cancer. Leukemia is blood cancer. The next one is 1,4-dioxane, also known as PEG, P-E-G. The next one is benzophenone. It's an additive that is used to protect from UV light. Studies have also shown that benzophenone may lead to several different types of cancerous tumors. Yes. And when you want to look at the labels, you may also see BH ash, or oxybenzone, sulibenzone. Yes. Or sulibenzone sodium. All this name, you need to write them down and look at the product you use. So look out for all these ingredients in lip balm, sunscreen, and moisturizer. Petrolatum is another ingredient you need to be aware of. You need to stay away from this. Why? Because it's a byproduct of petroleum jelly that is commonly used as a moisturizing agent. When properly refined, petrolatum is a no cause for concern. However, when it is not fully refined, it can become contaminated with polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, which have been flagged as a potential carcinogen poison. So you want to avoid moisturizer that contain petrolatum. unless the company certifies it has adequate refinement. That is when you go for it. If you read labels and it doesn't say refined, then don't buy it. Don't buy that product. Any products, especially moisturizer, don't buy. The manufacturer are responsible to put all the ingredients on their products, on the label of their products. If they don't have the product of the ingredients stated on the label, that means there's something they are hiding. That tells you that should be a signal to you that there is something wrong with these products and you should not buy it. Because the labels, the ingredient put on the label are meant to help us make a buying decision, to understand what we are going to potentially put on our skin to help us take a better buying decision. However, the truth is that many harmful ingredients hide behind the label. Yeah, that is why you don't see them stating the ingredients on their labels. Any product you see without ingredients stated out, there is something they are hiding. Yes, there is a harmful ingredient hide behind that label. Yes. And this confuses and misleads consumers. Some of you don't know what to look out for. Some don't know. I just stated all the names now. You don't know before today. Maybe 1% of people watching today know all these things that I stated. But I'm telling you, I am 100% positive that not all of you watching this show know the names I mentioned on this show today to be harmful to your body. That is why you just buy and use. You don't pay attention to what could have been the ingredient put together to make that product for you. And if you are conscious of what goes on your body, you will be so conscious to know what they use to make it. That is just the trick. Before I buy anything, I want to see the ingredient. That means I'm conscious of my body. I'm conscious of getting my body healthy products. I don't want anything to hurt my body. That is why I'm so conscious, making sure that everything they put together to make that product is stated on the label. If it is something I don't have an idea what it is, I go online, I use my phone immediately, I Google it. If it's something I can buy, I go for it. If something I cannot buy, I let go. I don't have to buy it. But I'm sure that those that have no clue, that have no understanding, no knowledge, no wisdom to know that this product needs to go through search before they can pay for it, they fall into that error. They buy and use and damage their skin. That is why you see a lot of people suffering from skin disease today, including skin cancer. Many of these ingredients also carry additional risks with them, such as endocrine disruption and environmental toxicity. So it is important to be curious about the products we allow to be absorbed into our bodies. Yes, and with new products being released almost every day, each with their own special formula, it becomes increasingly difficult to definitely and flatly say this will or will not cause cancer. Please do your part and read the label to see the ingredient before buying. Someone asked me the difference between brightening and bleaching. I guess because I said that brightening is better than bleaching. Yes, there's a huge difference. First of all, I want you to know that skin bleaching and skin lightening is the same, and it's a cosmetic procedure that aims to lighten dark areas of skin, or if you want to achieve a generally paler skin tone. This is what we call bleaching or lightening. It's the same. Now, bleaching cream or otherwise known as skin lightener, is a topical mixture or substance that works to limit the production of melanin, pigments in the skin that produce darker skin. What is pigment? Pigment is a substance that imparts a color to other materials. And these creams work to reduce the appearance of dark blemishes, such as hyperpigmentation, sunspots, age spots, freckles, acne spots, and so on. Unlike the skin bleaching, which kills off melanocytes that produce melanin. I said in the beginning that melanocytes are the cells that make melanin, and they are found in the lower part of the epidermis. While melanin is the pigment that gives skin its color. So, skin lightening limits the amount of melanin that reaches the epidermis, thereby making the skin lighter without damage. So, skin blemish products contain hydroquinone as an active ingredient, which reduces the production of concentration of melanin in the skin. There's one ingredient in the bleaching cream called hydroquinone. This is the one that reduces the production of concentration of melanin in the skin. So any products, any skincare products that has hydroquinone bleaches, it changes the color, whether from dark to light, or the light to more white. So that's why you see many people, when they use certain cream, they are dark in complexion, and by the time they start using that cream, they turn to another thing, like they become white. So this hydroquinone in that product, in that cream, make it possible. So when we are talking about bleaching and brightening, they are not one in the same. Any brightening cream or products will not contain hydroquinone, but bleaching products contains hydroquinone. And the side effects, it's obvious. One of the side effects is skin irritation. Those who are prone to sensitive skin can experience mild to severe irritation from using bleaching products. You experience this because it's mostly a result of using chemicals-based skin lighteners. That is the reason why you experience this skin irritation. My skin is a sensitive skin. Any chemical-based skin lightener will cause irritation in my skin. Yes. When you want to buy a cream out there, any cream you want to purchase, it is very important you always remember to read the label. If you are having trouble reading the listed ingredients, it's likely the product you are using could be harmful in the long run. And I urge you to shy away from products containing hydroquinone. So instead of using any bleaching cream that contains hydroquinone, it's better you go for the cream that contains vitamin C and alpha arbutin to brighten any skin tone, to brighten any fade hyperpigmentation, age spots, or sunspots, and also acne. Because many people claim that, oh, I have acne, I have blemishes, I have this, that's why I'm using bleaching cream to clean them. No, you don't have to use bleaching cream that contain those harmful chemicals, such as hydroquinone. Use any cream that contains vitamin C. Vitamin C brightens your skin. That's what any product I'm using contains vitamin C, alpha arbutin. especially vitamin C, even including my wife's. It's formulated with vitamin C. My face wash, my skin, any of my skincare products contain vitamin C, because vitamin C is a very powerful compound that brightens your skin and is healthy. So if you see my skin lightening, brightening, I am not bleaching. I know the repercussion. I know the side effect of bleaching. So anything you see me using is healthy, and it contains vitamin C and alpha arbutin. Contain alpha arbutin. Yes. Go for it instead of bleaching your life out. The result is not here today, but is awaiting you in the future. How can we reduce the risk of skin cancer? What can you and I do to prevent skin cancer? I've said this repeatedly, multiple times on this show, precisely, and I'm going to say it again now. You have an understanding that most skin cancers are caused by too much exposure to UV rays, which come from the sun, tanning beds, and sunlight. Also, some chemicals from the skincare products we apply on the skin. To lower your risk of getting skin cancer, you can protect your skin from UV rays from the sun and avoid artificial sources of UV exposure like tanning beds and sun lamps. How do you do this? You want to practice sun safety. What are these sun safeties? Number one, you want to stay in the shade. You want to wear clothing that covers your arms and legs. You want to wear a hat with a wide brim to shade your face, head, ears, and neck. You also want to wear sunglasses that wrap around and block both UVA and UVB rays. You also want to use a broad spectrum sunscreen with a sun protection factor, SPF, of 15 or higher. And lastly, you want to protect your skin from too much exposure to the sun if the UV index is 3 or higher in your area. This is recommended by CDC anyway. Another thing I want those that reside in the US or any other part of the country except Africa to know when practicing all this safety is protection from UV rays is important all year, not just during the summer. UV rays can reach you on cloudy and cool days, and they reflect off surface like water, cement, sand, and snow. In the continental United States, UV rays are strongest from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Daylight savings time, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. standard time. Another way to reduce the risk of skin cancer is by avoiding indoor tanning. What is indoor tanning? Indoor tanning is using a tanning bed, boots, sunbed, or sun lamp to darken the skin. Instead of going to the beach to lay down and tan their body receiving the sunlight during winter, some stay indoor and use all this, such as sun lamp, sunbed, bowls, tanning bed, to darken their skin. This is dangerous. You need to stop doing it. because doing this exposes one to high level of UV rays, which over time too much exposure to UV rays can cause skin cancers, cataracts, and cancer of the eye. Of course, white people or very light-skinned people go to beach to tan their skin. But let me tell you this. A tan does not indicate good health. When UV rays reach the skin inner layer, the skin makes more melanin. Melanin is the pigment that gives skin its color. I said it before. It moves towards the outer layer of the skin and becomes visible as a tan. Any change in skin color after UV exposure, whether it is a tan or a burn, is a sign of injury, not health. Yes, and this indoor tanning can lead to serious injury, but you cannot reap the benefits if you don't protect yourself by staying in the shade, wearing protective clothing, applying and reapplying a broad spectrum sunscreen with a sun protection factor SPF of 15 or higher. Hear this. Even though UV rays from the sun can stimulate production of vitamin D in the skin, therefore, having little or no sun exposure may put a person at risk for low level of vitamin D. But too much UV exposure from the sun or artificial sources such as indoor tanning can increase risk of skin cancers and eye disease. The amount of vitamin D a person's skin makes when they are in the sun depends on many factors, including skin tone, geographic location, weather condition, time of year, and time of day. The skin can produce only limited amounts of vitamin D at one time, because once the body has reached this limit, spending more time in the sun will not continue to increase vitamin D levels. However, continued time in the sun will increase your skin cancer risk. If you continue to stay in the sun for vitamin D, when you have reached the limit, you are actually increasing the risk of getting skin cancer. There is no known level of UV exposure that will increase vitamin D levels without also increasing skin cancer risk. So limit the time you stay in the sun. At least 5 to 10 minutes is fine. I absolutely agree with you saying that vitamin D is an essential part of our diet, supporting bone health, the functioning of the immune system, and much more. But you don't have to sacrifice your skin to get enough of these nutrients. Vitamin D can be obtained safely through food and dietary supplements without the risk associated with overexposure to UV rays. You can also get your vitamin D through food like fish, cereal, juices, dairy products, and egg yolks. You don't have to burn yourself down in the sun, especially when you reach limits, time limits. Your body must be exposed to sunlight. You don't have to stay in there thinking that you must get vitamin D from the sun. So, ladies and gentlemen, the bottom line is this, and this is an addition to what I've said so far. Use lip balm that has an SPF 30 or higher. Be mindful of sun faces that can reflect the sun, and as a result of UV rays, such as water, sand, and concrete. Read your medication labels carefully, because some medications, such as antibiotics and blood pressure medication, can increase your sensitivity to the sun. Many people don't know this. I am telling you today. Yes. Some medication you use, such as medication for your high blood pressure, can increase your sensitivity to the sun. And these are antibiotics. The next one is protect infants. Infants under 6 months of age by keeping them covered at all times and in the shade. And lastly, apply sunscreen 15 to 30 minutes before going out. Before going outside. And don't forget to reapply every 2 hours or less, depending on your activity level. This is all you need to do. If you can do this and be conscious of what you apply on your skin by looking at the ingredient to see that, okay, this is not good for my skin, that is not good for my body, you will be fine. You won't be at risk of any skin cancer. Take it or leave it. This is where we are going to end today on health education. I'll see you next week. I remain your host, Betsy Olayinka Falani Akinosotu, aka Bufa, an integrative nutrition health specialist. Thank you so much for being on the show today. I'll see you next week. Have a good night and wake up to a productive week. Good night. Bye.